What's going on, man? What is going on? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody is blessed. Hope everybody is doing well. You know the vibes already. We're back for the Premier League Roundup show. Yeah, I've been away for a minute, man, doing the Premier League Roundup show. So I said, yeah, after yesterday, I did say I want to try and do at least a minimum of one stream a week. So yeah, I'm saying that we've now passed that. You may not see me again doing a live until next week. But listen, we're here and we're live today. Yeah, just a quick one before we head on out of here, taking a look at the results, obviously, from this weekend's games. Yeah, it's been another interesting weekend in the Premier League. Big up ends, of course, in the building. Apologies, bro. By the time I got in, I just said, yo, let me just go straight into this live stream. Good morning to you, Mustafa, in the building. I know you're still fuming from last night. We let Everton go above Liverpool. It is what it is, man. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. There's nothing that we can really do. But we'll talk about that, of course, in a second, man. But in terms of the fixtures that obviously were when I looked at them at the beginning of the weekend, I think we did this on Enza's stream and we looked ahead to the weekend and stuff like that. There were a few games I did like. In terms of matchups, Brighton versus Brentford, I thought that was going to be a decent game. Turned out to be pretty decent. Obviously, Liverpool versus Forest, we'll get into that. And obviously, I would say Newcastle versus City. And then, of course, we had the North London derby, which actually wasn't that good, to be honest with you. But again, we will chat about that. But let's go to the first game of the weekend. So that's obviously Chelsea 2-0 winners against Burnley, man. Chelsea, I mean, so every weekend I always listen to Gary Neville's podcast, right? I like listening to it. I like hearing his thoughts on the weekend. Also, the punditry world. I want to know what are they saying, you know what I mean, about some of these weekend fixtures. Are they flip-flopping like some of the fans and, all that kind of stuff? Just like to hear. And he spoke about Chelsea, and what he said, I agree with. Now, I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's correct or whatever. I just agreed with what he was saying, which was when it comes to Chelsea, right? You don't know, like, they're probably going to be a team that will tease you in a sense. Like, if you're a Chelsea fan, you're going to think you're better than you are. And there's going to be moments where you're going to think you're worse than you are. Like, I feel like they're just going to be one of those kind of teams this season where one week, everyone's like, oh my days, Chelsea. And the thing is, I keep saying it, they've got good players. Like, they do have good young players. They've got good players just at good ages. Enzo Fernandez, I think he's turning into he seems to have found his own. He seems to have found, or Enzo Maresca seems to have found his role within the team in terms of what he's good at. We can execute that. Now, whether you like it or don't like it, that's up to you. I'm not even here. He's not world class or anything like that. I'm just here to say he seems to have found his kind of role, his kind of niche in that Chelsea team, alongside Caicedo, who in my opinion is the best defensive midfielder in world football. I feel like they go together. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And obviously, listen, they've still got Cole Palmer out. Pedro Neto, he's kind of, he's doing his thing now in terms of adding some goals, adding some assists, for the team and stuff like that. And yeah, I'll be honest, I saw the highlights of this and I was just like, I'm not going to say it was routine. I didn't watch the 90 minutes. So Chelsea fans would have to tell me, would have to explain to me if they felt that it was a 90-minute, type of game where they dominated. But yeah, 2-0 victory away from home against Burnley, who can make it tough. We've seen them make it tough for some teams. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, cool. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of go on. But I just think, yeah, like I said, with Chelsea, I do think you're going to either overrate them or underrate them. I don't think they're going to be rated how they are until the end of the season. I think come the end of the season, I don't know what Chelsea's expectations are. I don't know what Chelsea fans expect from their team. I'm going to assume top four. I don't know what they think outside of that. They might think more. I don't know. I'm not even here to, dismiss what they think because I really don't know what it is with Chelsea at this moment in time. But yeah, I think, listen, a 2-0 victory against Burnley away from home. Enzo Fernandez obviously getting on the score sheet. And then, of course, who was it? Neto. Was it Neto? Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like for them, that's calm. You get what I'm saying? I feel like that's kind of a calm victory for them, and they move on and move forward. And I know they've got a big game up. They've got Barcelona. Hopefully, Barcelona absolutely slap them at the bridge. I'm praying for that result. But listen, Chelsea, they're one of them teams, man. On their day, I feel like they could Barca this season. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that game is a bit more of a tough call Do you get what I'm saying? It's just really who's going to get, would I say, a somewhat foothold really of the game. But we'll wait and see, man. We'll wait and see. Chelsea in the race with City, Arsenal, they keep clean sheets. Maybe. Like, obviously, we'll look at the table. The table says yes, they are. Whether that continues, I don't know. I really, really don't know. I'm still not that convinced about them as a team. But if you're doing the job, then you're doing the job. You know what I mean? It really is what it is. My boys, Crystal Palace, man. 2-0 victory away to Wolves. I mean, Wolves are not that good anyway, so it's not great in that kind of sense, but it's good for Crystal Palace to kind of get themselves back into some type of rhythm of form. In the last few games, I just feel like they've been so wishy-washy, but it's expected. I do expect that from a team like Crystal Palace. I expect them to have good moments throughout a season. What they need to really hone in on is the consistency. And I feel like in this game, everything kind of clicked for them, in my opinion. You know what I mean? 2-0, clean sheet, away from home. Again, Wolves are not the best of teams, and I didn't think it was the best of games, but I did feel that, you know what? Crystal Palace deserved the victory. They did deserve, that victory. And Munoz, man, honestly, he's one of the best right backs in world football. And in fact, I'll go one further. In my opinion, he's in the top 10 bracket of fullbacks, both left and right in Europe, shall we say? I just think he's absolutely brilliant. Now adding goals to his game, and to be honest, that's one of them things where you're asking for something extra from a player that maybe doesn't even necessarily need that. And obviously the system maybe doesn't necessarily require all of that, but it's good if you can obviously add that to your game. And I just think he just goes from strength to strength, man. And listen, man, Crystal Palace are doing well in a general sense this season. But in terms of this game in itself, I mean, Wolverhampton Wanderers, I mean, if they stay up, honestly, it will be whoever keeps them up, whether they keep the manager that they've got now and he can keep them up, or they get in another manager who tries to keep them up, they've got to be nominated for manager of the season, because they just look the worst. They don't look, I'm trying to think here, they don't look Southampton bad. And I know that sounds mad because obviously they're sitting on whatever points they're sitting on and all that kind of stuff, but I don't get Southampton vibes, if that makes sense. Like Southampton, I felt like, you lot are just dead. Like you're actually dead. Like you're not good. You're rubbish. Like I can't see where you're even going to pick up victories. But then at the same time, I could say all of those kind of things for Wolverhampton Wanderers. But I do think that Wolverhampton Wanderers do have enough good players within their team. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they have enough players in their team where I feel that if you can just go on a bit of a run, just a little bit of a run. Doesn't have to be nothing crazy. Doesn't need to be, do you know what I'm saying? I'm not asking for, something mad. I'm just saying if you can go on a bit of a run, then I think maybe they can get themselves out of it. But the problem is that where you've got teams like Sunderland, where you've got teams like Leeds, even Burnley to an extent, these teams they're not really giving up. Usually we know, the three promoted teams, when they come up, they're most likely to fill those slots. And I'm not saying that they won't, but Sunderland, I don't think they will. But in general, you're like, those three will fill those slots. So you've just got to make sure that you can just kind of finish above them and you'll stay in the Premier League. At this moment in time, they're not even looking like they're better than, Sunderland have been taken out of the equation at this moment in time. So from when Sunderland have been taken out of the equation, now you're kind of like, ooh, okay, that doesn't leave many options. Do you get what I'm saying? It doesn't leave many spaces. That leaves one space free. And at this moment in time, Wolves look like they're occupying that space, and they look like they're going to stay there for a very, very long time. So, it's all mad. It's all mad. Big up, bro. Frank out. We'll get to that. Liverpool. We spoke about this. Just give me 1 second, please. Yeah, we spoke about this. I spoke about this, should I say, yesterday in my rant about Liverpool Football Club. Go check out the video, really and truly. But listen, Nottingham Forest, and the thing is, what I almost didn't like that came out of that game. Obviously, Liverpool, and the headline is Liverpool lost, and the headline is always going to be when Liverpool lose a game, it's going to be all about them. So fair enough, but I didn't hear enough of Nottingham Forest actually playing well. Again, I didn't watch the 90 minutes. Maybe they didn't play well. Maybe all their goals were lucky, and it was just so unlucky that Liverpool conceded 3 of the most unluckiest goals in Premier League history. maybe that was the case. I don't know. I really, really don't know. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that wasn't the case. And I'm gonna say that Nottingham Forest deserved the victory. And just trying to think of all the other results. Yeah, it was the result of the weekend for me. I mean, 3-0 away for Nottingham Forest. Going to Anfield. Now, listen, look, Liverpool ain't on piss at this moment in time. So fair enough, there's something to be said about that. But still, I mean, they were sitting 19th in the table prior to this game kicking off. For them to finish to finish the game 3-0, that to me is like, okay, yeah, you're really doing your thing, man. You're really doing stuff. So yeah, man, big up to them. Yeah, like I said, Liverpool are just Liverpool at this moment in time. There really isn't even much more to really say about that, if I'm being totally honest with you. So it is what it is. Slot has to go. Worst defeat at home since Hodgson era. No leaders. Virgil, Salah playing poor. 100%, man. 100%. And we're going to talk about that, the leadership and stuff like that over on Enz's channel. You'll be redirected, obviously, after this stream. He'll be kicking off at 11 a.m. So, yeah, that's going to be a really good conversation to have because, yeah, I agree with that statement in itself, Mustafa, man. But it is what it is, man. I don't really want to go too much into the Liverpool game. Like I said, we spoke about it yesterday. We know the vibes already. Liverpool shit. So we move on. This one was a shock to me. Newcastle beating Manchester City. I do believe it is the first time either Newcastle or Eddie Howe. I'm going to say Eddie Howe, but it could just be Newcastle in general. I've got the stat up here somewhere. First time in 90. This is the 19th attempt that they've had at beating Manchester City at St. James's Park. 19th attempt. And they've done it on number 19. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And the reason why, now listen, look, going away to St. James's Park ain't easy. Don't get it twisted. And you can easily go there and lose. I was just more shocked because I felt like Manchester City would do a little bit more. I didn't really feel like they played that well in the game, if I'm being totally honest with you. Obviously, I know they got a goal back relatively quickly, and I thought that would kick them on. I thought, okay, you've kind of woken up now. You're gonna move like normal. But I think now even I've got to understand is that Manchester City are just not Manchester City anymore. They're not the Man City that I know. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's one of those. It's like, damn, homie, in high school you was the man, homie. Like, yeah, it's starting to get really like that for them, to be honest with you. And like I said, you can go St. James's Park and lose. I'm just seeing the way that they're losing certain games. Yeah, and even in the ones that they win sometimes, I'm like, yes, you've won, and more time is going to be Haaland. But if he ain't scoring, the team is just not really there yet. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just not there yet. Now, I'm not saying that they won't get there. I have faith that they will get there because I believe in their manager and obviously who he is, and I believe in their team. I feel like they've got some brilliant players within their squad, and their squad, is once it gets that real cohesion, I do think it can be a bit of a problem. But yeah, I just think in games like this, and listen, Newcastle were good. They deserved the victory, in my opinion. They really did deserve that victory. Tonali, Kamara, like really proper midfield that they've got there. I really, really like. In Premier League football, in my opinion, they've got the best midfield in the Premier League for Premier League football. Now in Europe, no, I don't think so. I think they will get found out in many ways. But in Premier League, I don't know a better midfield. Arsenal come close. Arsenal do come close. But in general, and Chelsea are up there as well, I'll give them that. But in general, I'm looking at their midfield and I say they've got the balance that every team, especially with the way that we've seen how the Premier League is kind of going this season, and in terms of physicality and long ball, all that kind of stuff, right? It's almost like a throwback we're seeing this season. I'm watching Newcastle and I'm like, you can tell when you come up against certain teams, you're just going to get boxed off the park because you're not that good in terms of you're not a great team in terms of in possession, and that's not your game. Fair enough. So it is what it is. But when you come up against those type of teams, yeah, it could get a little bit sticky. But when you really, when the onus is really on you to really impose your style of play and your football, yeah, it can be problematic. And St. James's Park under the lights, it's a bit long. It can be a little bit long, man. And Harvey Barnes, man, at the double. Harvey Barnes at the double. He's such a weird player, man. Like, he's one of those players I think he will just have like a good Premier League career. Provided he stays free of injuries, I feel like he's one of those kind of guys. He will have a good Premier League career. Will he be that good? No, he might have one random season where you're like, oh my God, like he's one of the best wingers in the league. Like, he might have one of those. I think that will be later on in his career, though, when he's 28, 29. I don't know how. In fact, I don't even know how old he is now. He could be there now. But yeah, I feel like he's one of those kind of players where they'll just always be in the Premier League because they're a Premier League player, but they're not that good. There's probably tons of other better players, but for Newcastle and for what they're trying to do, I feel like that kind of is what it is. To be honest with you, man. Big up Dean, big up D, big up your cousin. Make sure you guys obviously head on over to Famzone TV as well and subscribe. You probably subscribed already, but just make sure if you haven't, anybody over here that I give a shout out to, they're one of the mandem, they're one of the guys. Make sure you subscribe over to the guys. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Trying to grow the community, man. So yeah, man. Him as a D or Dean. It doesn't matter if it's D or Dean. Big up to D, big up to Dean. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. They're family. Do you get what I'm saying? They're part of the family. So you know what I'm saying? We subscribe regardless. Subscribe, regardless. YG, to be fair, in the Prem, they more times dominate Arsenal midfield, more times, but the quality at the back for Arsenal cancels things out. Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. It is, yeah, Arsenal. But yeah, like I said, we'll get into that. Maybe Villa. Nah. I think Villa's one is good. It's decent. It's nowhere, in my opinion, it's not even on the same level as the Newcastle midfield. I like Villa's midfield, but it's very inconsistent, Tielemans can go missing for about 10, 15 games. Kamara, the same thing. McGinn will kind of always remain relatively consistent in his own performances, but yeah, that's not really enough, to be honest. Whereas I feel like the Newcastle midfield does remain relatively consistent. It's usually other factors in and around as to why they might lose games and, stuff like that. So, it is what it is. City too over-reliant on Haaland. That can't win you a title. You need different players stepping up. Yeah. You can say that. You could say that. You know what it is? They just need one other player who can score goals. That's the way I look at it. I'm like, if you can just get another player who can, and when I say score goals, I'm not talking, obviously not Haaland level. I'm just saying Diaz, Gakpo level. You know what I'm saying? Like, where it's like, if they were just in a team without a Haaland, their goals would be like kind of meaty. But when you're in a team with a Haaland or a Salah who score the goals that they do, yeah, it looks a little bit better. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, them kind of teams where you're like, oh yeah, now we've got two brothers. One guy who gets the majority of our goals, but then we've got the other guy who can at least get us double figures at least. At the moment, I don't know. It'll probably be Doku. And even then, I'm not even 100% sure on that. I'm really, really not. But listen, for Manchester City's sake, they better hope this was just a bad day, at the office. On to the next game, Bournemouth versus West Ham. Disappointing for Bournemouth in a sense of before the game. After the game, they definitely looked at this and said, thank God. 2-0 down, away, at home. Yeah, it was looking bad for them. When I looked at it, I was like, ooh, okay. West Ham are really, you know what I'm saying? They're really trying to come back with something. But listen, it is what it is. Bournemouth obviously coming back to get the draw. West Ham, I would still be like, West Ham, I'm looking at, and I do look at them and think, West Ham, you do look like you could be in trouble if you're going to pick up victories just naturally, just because I do look at you like a Premier League team, but you're not that good. You're like of the real lower end. You're not in the Wolves category, not yet. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't think you're there, but you're close. You're really, really close to that kind of category. For them to be 2-0 up away from home, they really should be seeing out these kind of games. So very disappointing. It's almost disappointing for both teams, and it's before and after the game, pre and post match. Pre-match or pre the game, I would say Bournemouth would have looked at it and said, yeah, we've got to get victory, 100%. You've got to be beating West Ham at home. You have to. If you're really trying to elevate, and Iraola as well, do you get what I'm saying? If you're really trying to show people that you are this person, and listen, I still think he's a great manager. Still think he's a really good manager, and I think he can go on to do really good things. But you need to be winning these kind of games. But in the game, post-match, yeah, West Ham definitely looking at this and think, yeah, we just dropped 2 points. We just dropped 2 points. Can't be 2-0 up away from home and not coming away with the victory. I'm sorry. You can't. You really, really can't. And you have to be coming away with victory after that. Started like a house on fire, to be honest with you. Really, and I felt like they started the game really, really strong. And I thought, okay, this could be, this is going to turn out to be a masterclass almost from West Ham. Didn't work out that way. But listen, credit to Bournemouth, obviously getting back into the game. But like I said, for both teams, yeah, Bournemouth got to do way better. West Ham have to do better in these kind of games. Next up, let's go to the next game. Come on. Brighton versus Brentford. Big up goal ratio. Good morning to you. Good morning to everybody, man. By the way, good morning to everybody. Brentford losing 2-1 away. I'm not that surprised, to be honest with you. I'm really not. It was one of those games. I thought it was going to be a good game. It was okay. It was an okay game from what I saw anyway. Yeah, Brighton again, just like Bournemouth. It's one of those games you look at and think you can't lose these kind of games. You come up against West Ham, you come up against, but you have to win these games. You have to. They did that. So credit to them for obviously, for getting the victory. But I feel like Brighton are going to be kind of quiet this season. I do feel like they're just going to go about their thing. We're not really going to notice them. They're going to have random games in the season where they'll probably upset the apple cart a little bit against one of the big boys, potentially. But it'll be 3 games at max. At max, I think, this season where they'll upset where we'll notice Brighton. Not to, and listen, I rate Brighton quite a lot in terms of just them as a football club, but I just think even watching this game again, do you know what I mean? It was like, why is it such a struggle? Like, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm putting too much expectation on some of these teams, so that's maybe a little bit unfair from my perspective. But yeah, I'm just like, yeah, listen, you got the victory, so I guess that's all that really matters. Would I say you had a good game? Not really, not particularly. I don't think so. If the game ended in a draw, I wouldn't have said that it wasn't deserved for both teams, especially for Brentford, obviously, because they lost the game in the end. So yeah, listen, Brighton got the victory, just had to get the victory in these kind of games. So big up to them. This one shocked me. Fulham versus Sunderland. This one did shock me a little bit because Fulham are so weird. Like, they're one of the most inconsistent teams in the Premier League. Easily one of the most inconsistent teams. Did they deserve the victory? Yes, maybe. But when it's like a 51-49. Like, it's one of those. I didn't look at that and think, oh, yeah, they absolutely outplayed some. No, I didn't think it was that at all. Brilliant for them to get the victory. And they're in the same position as a Brighton. They're in the same position as a Bournemouth. You got to just get these victories at times. But I definitely didn't look at it and think, convince me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't really, really convince me, so to speak. So, yeah, listen, look, big up to them anyway. And like I said, they're so inconsistent, they'll probably lose next week anyway. Like, that's just Fulham. Like, I've just stopped with them. Like, I've stopped thinking, oh, they could do. Nah, it's okay. Like, it is what it is when it comes to Fulham. Big up Michael Talks, guys. As always, like I said, he's one of the man them. Make sure you subscribe to Michael Talk. If you want to know about football outside of the Premier League, yeah, go to Michael Talks. Please go there. That's really the only place that I feel you should be going to actually know about football outside of the Premier League. Do you get what I'm saying? Let's actually learn something. Big up G. I don't know if you feel this way, but I have zero connection with the Prem footy now. Even from last season, I was starting to hate the football and the topics around the Prem amongst fans and pundits. Bro, this is why I don't do that many videos. This is why I don't do that many live shows. And if I do, they're not usually based around the Premier League. They're usually trying to look at other things, tactics, teams, because, yeah, I have no connection. I live here. I live here. I live here. I'm from this product. I'm from the product of the Premier League, and I have no connection to it. Like, it's, for me, the last 2 seasons, I think the quality has been crap, in my opinion. I think we can all dress it up whatever way that we want to dress up, in my opinion, and just my opinion. I think the quality has been crap. I think people have gassed it up in whatever way they want to. Because, this team is, it's more competitive. That's great. That's cool. It can be more competitive. I'm pretty sure the Danish league is competitive. I don't know. But I'm just saying it could be that. It could really be that. I don't really care. Like, can I see some quality, please? From when we're even talking about football going back to the fucking dark ages and that. Long balls and teams are not playing 4-4-2, but it's that type of football, Sunday league vibe. Bro, miss me with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Premier League is what it is. And I even think that they're even trying to make topics up at this point. Not even content creators. I actually just think pundits are trying to make topics up now because it's so dead. Like, there's nothing really to actually talk about. Do you know what I mean? From game week to game week, people are forcing it with yeah, but this decision, bruv, whatever, that's going to happen regardless in football in every single league all around Europe, all around the world. So, yeah, that is what it is. But when we're talking about, little things like just quality, the tactical, bruv, it is dead. In my opinion, it is dead. I'll be real. Listen, I'm looking at Arsenal. Brilliant, I think, this season. Do you know what I mean? They've been, but I can't sit there and act like Arsenal have been like, oh, they've been so amazing. Their quality. No, hell no. And that's not even me trying to hate. You guys know I'm not really a hater like that. Like, I don't care about Arsenal like that. But I don't look at them and think, oh my God, yeah, you know what? Arsenal, like, this is pure, this is football. Like, no, it's not. It's really not. And then when your challengers are like Chelsea, City, or kind of bruv, miss me. We're looking at Sunderland. That's how you know the Premier League is so dead right now. We're hoping a Sunderland can do something just out like a Nottingham Forest did a couple of seasons, or last season, or a couple of seasons ago. No, last season. We're hoping that they can do that. That's the excitement that we're getting in the Premier League is, oh my God, like Nottingham Forest or Sunderland. Like, really? Well, can we talk about the football? Like, can we just see some good football? Like, is that cool? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is that good? YG, Fulham plays us this week. They will get a result. It wouldn't surprise me, but at the same time, yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those. And saying I agree with that. Yeah, bro, you already know, man. This is what I told you. This is why we don't do the tactic shows. But what tactics? What, long ball football? Well, all right, cool. We can do one episode of that. I guarantee we can just keep replaying that episode. In fact, if we do that episode, we'll try and do it for like 2 hours, and I'll just chop it up, and I'll just keep posting out every week. And I'm pretty sure majority of the weeks we'll get it right, which is a scary thing to say. That's why I told you, bro. This tactic stuff, bro, forget that. I'm like me, I'm just watching La Liga. I'm watching the French league because I'm seeing some really good football in those leagues. Like, I'm telling you guys now, and forget my bias towards Barcelona. Just watch the Spanish league. I'm telling you, there's some really good football being played from some of the lower teams. I'm not even talking about, forget even Barca, because they're not even playing that great. I'm talking some of the lower teams are playing good football. Do you get what I'm saying? It's really, and even the way that, I love the way that La Liga, if you watch it on like the actual La Liga TV, whatever the channel's called, right? When you watch it, they got like the stats things come up and like during the game, and I'm like, yo, this is what Sky Sports can't do this for the Premier League. Like we're doing up fucking statistics that Donny ran certain kilometers, but I don't give a fuck about how many kilometers he ran. Let me know what, like it's like you don't know enough. And I know Jamie Carragher's a smart guy, and I know he's obviously not always there. But I'm just like, what? You can't get someone on the, like, you guys have got all the visuals in the world. I think me and Enz have even spoken about it. Sorry, I know I'm going off on a rant. But I know me and Enz have spoken about this. Like, imagine if we had, forget this StreamYard that I'm using right now to even do this live stream. Imagine if I had some of the equipment that some of Sky Sports had. Oh my God, bro. I'd be doing tactical shows every day, like just because, like, do you know what I mean? But like these guys, they don't even utilize it. They get Jamie Carragher to do his special. And listen, I do think Carragher is really good at what he does. Like for me, he's the best pundit when it comes to analysis of a team. So that's cool. And I get it. They do his segment, but what, you can't during the game? Like I'm just asking for like some stats and stuff, like, or player watches or like something. Like fucking hell, bro. Like 2025 going into 2026, and we're still doing the basic stuff, like putting up the results, or, you know, like midway through a game, I don't know, you might be watching Arsenal versus Tottenham, right? And they put up like just some random stuff. No, I don't give a fuck about your stats. Like, show us the tactics, because there's no point. The reason why I say show us this stuff, right, is because I feel that people watching at home would understand certain things a lot more whilst they're watching the game. So things that I don't even see sometimes. Like I'm watching a game, I'm like, oh, right, okay, I didn't even notice that. So my man is, okay, now I've got a different energy towards a certain player. Maybe I was a little bit too harsh. Maybe I didn't understand the role that he was given. So instead of me giving him a poor rating at the end of when I'm doing the match reactions or whatever, I'm coming on shows and I'm like, oh, but he was shit. And I'm having to go to like SofaScore to like, no, it's there on the screen. We can all see it. You hear what I'm saying? But they don't do that, man. It's so weird. Sky Sports, you need to pattern up, man. Honestly, you need to pattern up. More competitive doesn't equal high quality, just means most teams are close to each other in a poor league right now. 100%. And I've been screaming this for the longest. People mistake competitiveness for meaning it's the best. If your definition of being the best in terms of in football and in the context of the best league, if that's what you think the best league is, then fairs. If that's your definition, I can't argue with that because that's what you deem it to be. For me, it will always be quality. Quality overrides all of that. I need to see quality. I don't care if the quality is coming from just a finite amount of teams. I don't actually care because to me, then that's going to override everything else anyway, unless the other teams are like so shit. But that's never really the case. Like you have at the time you had Man City and Liverpool. They were like off doing their thing, but you still had Arsenal still playing good ball. You know what I'm saying? There were other Brighton still playing good ball. It's not like other teams weren't playing good football, just weren't as good because they didn't have the players. Now everyone's. I feel like everyone's, as you said, everyone's. It's like we've closed the gap like this. No one's really gone here, which is great for the competitiveness and is great for storylines and headlines and all these kind of things. But in terms of the quality, bro, it is rubbish. Villa couldn't score in their first 6 games and they're 4th now. Bro, it is mad. It's mad. It's mad. It's mad. It's mad. It's mad. It's mad. That's why I prefer international football nowadays so much more. Not so much emphasis on tactics, and people are not as tribalistic compared to club football. I get it. No, I get it. I get it. I do actually get it. I do actually get that still because it makes sense. It does make sense. They're still showing us. That's it. Thank you. I was trying to think what distance covered in that. Bro, this isn't like 2014 where you just got this thing. Come on, man. We don't care about no distance. And you know what? Even if you want to show that, that's fine, right? But at least add a bit more. Add like you can do it because Jamie Carragher, Thierry Henry, these men are quick to do it on a Monday night special where they're like, yeah, see, and Henry will do his thing. And listen, I love Henry, like he's one of my favorite players, but he'll be sitting there talking his, well, you see, when you're doing this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. Do that during the game. Because I just think it will allow people to understand the game a bit better. Then we won't get these stupid conversations that we get outside of that. We won't get these dumb things that we hear on the timelines and stuff like where people don't understand the game. They don't understand it because you're not allowing them to understand it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Now man's got to go away and try and find certain videos. And I watch Pythagoras in Boots. Do you know what I'm saying? Fantastic channel. I go and watch that. Because they do the analysis so well. And I think one of the guys who runs it, he's on Sky Sports all the time. Do you know why? Because he does what they're looking for. That's the whole point. Did you get what I'm trying to say? So Sky Sports, pattern up and get that sorted. Get that sorted, man. Sorry, had to go on a rant. Been doing a lot of rants recently. I don't know if I'm just angry within. I don't know, man. Maybe I need to just chill out. I prefer Serie A or Ligue A to the EPL. I hear it. Serie A has actually been really interesting this season still. It's been really interesting. Ligue A as well. Marseille sitting in second. Listen, I pray that they win the league. I only rate Crystal Palace in the Prem. I rate Glasner so highly, and they produce so many ballers that I have massive respect. Come on, man. That's my guys. You know what I'm saying? I know. We produce ballers. Look at Elise. I know we didn't produce, but we nurture quite a lot of the talent, shall we say, right? Look at Elise. One of the best wingers in world football. Look at Eze, just coming off of a hat trick. But we know we know what he's about anyway. Eze is Eze. Adam Wharton, every man and his dog wants this guy. Munoz, one of the best. Like I said, he's in the top 10 fullbacks, both left and right, in Europe. For me, do you get what I'm trying to say? Gay, Liverpool on their knees. To get Gay through the door. Come on, man. Mateta, one of the most unorthodox strikers you can think of. But, he does his thing. Now in the French squad. Mateta, crazy. Only Arsenal playing good football and Palace sometimes, Chelsea when they're capable. Yeah. I would agree with that. Most teams are doing low blocks, then changing game. Yeah, it's so fucking boring. Don't blame you. Football has been awful. Yeah, it has been, man. I just think that for me, I love watching Bayern Munich play. Oh my days, the way that Vincent Kompany has got Bayern Munich playing, in my opinion, it's magnifique. It's magnifique. Like it's brilliant football, man. I really, really like it. Like it's top notch. Elise, Eze, Sarr, Mateta. Come on, man. I'm saying they got ballers over there. Got ballers. Obviously, looking at the Sunday games, obviously we had the North London derby, and then we had Leeds versus Aston Villa. Let's go to that one first. Yeah. If you guys saw the goals, but if you saw his free kick, would I say it was a magnificent free kick? No. Big up to Morgan Rogers for the goal. And listen, bruv, like you're taking those all day, every day. Free kick goes in, cool. But when I watched it again and again and again, and I watched it from different angles, because I was watching someone had the video basically from behind. I think one of the fans, right? I was like, yeah, nah, that's the keeper, man. That's the keeps. If my keeper let that in the way that he let it in, like, bearing in mind, it was powerful. Yeah, like, it was powerful enough. But it was almost like, bro, I feel like I don't know, and I know you're saying the tech. Look, okay. The technique was good. I'm not even his technique and all of that. I'm not dissing him, by the way. Like, he is fine. Morgan Rogers, that's calm. But the goalie, though, come on, bro. Like, it was like, I'm trying to see if I can get it even in camera. It wasn't far. It wasn't like he put it in such a place where you're like, nah, that you're not stopping that. I don't care who you are, you ain't saving that. Brother, okay, you know what, ends? I'll leave it here. If Alisson let that kind of free kick him, you're saying something. You know what? I'll go one further. If Mamadashvili let that free kick in, you're saying something. 100% you're saying something. 100%. 100%. Company playing Kane. I don't know where Kane is playing. I don't know at this point. Kane has just evolved his game into this madman. Is probably the best word I can think of. He is now moving ridiculous at this point. Like, he's now saying, I've completed being a striker. I've done that. Like, I completed that time ago. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm here for the goals and that. Yeah, calm. I want to play midfield now. I want to play midfield and I want to score goals. I'm going to be basically Frank Lampard with a Aguero with Aguero's finishing. So Frank Lampard, with all of his finishing, his late runs into the box, his playmaking abilities, all of that, but with Aguero's finishing. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, in regards to Aston Villa, listen, I think someone just said it there about they couldn't score at all at the beginning of the season. Now, look where they are in the league. Look what they're doing now. You know what I'm saying? Aston Villa they've really hit a consistent amount of form. One thing I did want to talk about, actually, in regards to Villa, because I saw this, I didn't watch the game, but I saw the lineup. Harvey Elliott, man. That's an interesting one. I don't think he even made the squad. Now, listen, if the manager doesn't fancy you, pause. If he doesn't think that you fit the squad and all that, fairs. Like, it is what it is. But that's so interesting. They gave man the number 9 when he joined the football club, and I thought, right, okay, cool. Like, I'm not saying I didn't think he was going to play up front, but I just thought, okay, like, Emery respects him enough that, okay, I feel like you can be a mainstay in this team, but he can't even get a sniff. And I said it, the second Villa start doing well and you're not in the team, bruv, you're not playing. And I don't think, from what I've heard, he can't play for another team now. Because technically, was he not registered for Liverpool? Because remember, he moved to Aston Villa quite late when the season had already started. So to my knowledge, he'd already registered for Liverpool, and then he registered for Aston Villa. You can't register for 3 teams. Some players, I know some people are going to say, no, but some players are just not registered. So they won't be on the official Premier League list for certain teams. So when they then move on loan, come back, and then move on loan again, you can do that. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't believe that he's going to be able to do that. So I don't know what that looks like when inevitably I think he's just going to come back in January. I don't know, maybe things change in the next month. It's only November, maybe over the course of December. I don't know how many players they've got for AFCON and stuff. I can't really think off the top of my head. So maybe that might change, but it's looking dark for me. It's looking real dark when it comes to, when it comes to that. So yeah, that I just thought that was a bit interesting. He's not even making squads. And I mean, I don't even blame Emery, because the reality is Aston Villa are doing well. So why would you realistically throw him in there if the team is already kind of, got that cohesion now? They're hitting a little bit of form. I mean, they're climbing up the table. They're not looking as bad as they were at the beginning of the season. I didn't think that would continue anyway, but the fact that they've been able to shoot up the league, yeah, man, testament to them. And teams like Villarreal, Como, Inter, Marseille play such entertaining football. Which team in the Prem can you say actually excites you right now? Crystal Palace. That's it, Crystal Palace. You know it already. You knew the answer. Leeds United, yeah. I think this is one of those games where I look at and just think it can happen. It can happen. They're going to have a tough old season. I did think that their home form would be something that they would be able to rely upon. And listen, Villa's a tough game anyway, regardless of whenever. But yeah, I feel like they're going to have a tough time. And yeah, Leeds, I don't know, man. I'm not really rating them, to be honest with you, anyway, from what I've seen of Leeds. I think I've only watched 2 games of them anyway this season, to be fair. So I could be judging them prematurely. But yeah, I'm not really. Their football ain't great. Players are not that good. Yeah, they really look like a promoted side. Like they proper look like a promoted side, which is not going to be good for them. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. As long as he didn't play a competitive game for Liverpool, I think he can still play for one more team. I think. Okay, fair. Okay, yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. So yeah, we'll we'll wait and see. But did he not make a I can't remember. Did he not make a squad? Did he not make a squad for Liverpool? You know what? I don't know. Someone who's an expert at this can let me know in the chat. And then Arsenal versus Tottenham. This was not that great of a game, I'll be honest. More so because Tottenham were just absolutely dog shit. Like they were crap. Like they were so crap. Like, and listen, I rate Thomas Frank. I really do. I think he is still a good coach, but he was so rubbish in this game. The goal of the game, ironically, came from Richarlison, which is jokes, right? Like, man lobbed David Raya from God knows where. Good awareness to even know that Raya was off his line, and then obviously for him to be able to execute that, I thought excellent. The whole goal, excellent in itself. One possession back. I can't remember who it was actually. I think it was him. I'm sure it was him. Someone one possession back. It might have been him. Anyways, good goal, calm, but it was all about Arsenal in this game. Eze obviously getting a hat trick. I think, yeah, it didn't even. And big up YG, man. I know it's one of those, right? But I can't be real. Like Arsenal didn't even seem like they got out of any gear, really. It didn't seem like they need to try that hard. And that's the one thing about Spurs that I'm looking at. Like, I thought Spurs would be good this season. I thought they would have a better season. And to be fair, they're not doing shit. It's just, yeah, they need to be doing a bit better in certain games. And their away form is actually pretty decent if you take out this game. But I don't know, man. I'm worried for you guys because I'm like, you don't really have goal scorers in your team. Solanke, I mean, I know he's injured, but it's not like he was pulling up any trees kind of thing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Richarlison, it's weird because I actually like Richarlison as a player, but he ain't going to be pulling up any trees either. Kolo Muani, bruv, like, I promise you, I didn't even know that you guys even signed him. I promise you, when I saw, it wasn't in this game, it was in another game that he came off the bench. And I was like, Tottenham signed Muani. Bruv, I forgot. Like, he's been just non-existent since joining your football club. For whatever reason, injuries, whatever, I don't know. But yeah, you guys, I don't know what it is that you're going to need to change. Like, okay, I ask Spurs fans this. If it's not the manager, let's take away the manager for a second, right? If it's not the manager, what do you change about your style of play? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, what is it you change about that? Is it you need to be a bit more expansive? Maybe that could be definitely one thing. Obviously, it's difficult because you're going away to Arsenal. They're in good form this season. They're the best team in the Premier League this season. So it's going to be difficult. I'm not saying you go there and, you start playing this, whatever. I'm not even saying that. You're going to need to be a bit more conservative the way that you kind of do things. I do get that. But it's not just this game. I've seen Tottenham fans going crazy on the timelines and stuff. And even the ones that go to the games and all this, I've seen the way that you've spoken about, Tottenham this season. And yeah, you guys are just not really putting up anything. You're doing good in Europe. I will give you that. You're doing good in Europe. But yeah, when it comes to the Premier League, not really popping at all. But listen, Arsenal deserved victory. Absolutely deserved. I thought they were class in the game. But like I said, they really need to get out of third gear. They didn't really, second gear, first gear. There was no gear. They were neutral for the entirety of the game. You know what I mean? It was neutral with like just moments of quality. Randomly, they might have to go into second gear. More time is just so that they can hit the lights. Just so they can get the lights because they can see the light is on amber. Yo, I need to hit that second, third gear and I need to get there. That's what it felt like. Like it was like only in those random moments. But otherwise, they were just kind of driving a neutral. So listen, man, big up to Eze. I like Eze, one of my favorite players. So big up to him. By the way, the pass from Marino for one of the Eze goals. Whew, that was a good pass. Still, no, not Eze's goal. It's for Trossard's goal. Sorry, Trossard's goal. It was a good goal. I've been Frank out since we played West Ham in the third game of the season. Fuck it, heck, man, that is crazy. 3 games in and you weren't really feeling it. Fairs, you know what I mean? I don't watch Tottenham enough in it, so yeah. But I've seen the kind of noise in and around Spurs, so it's a bit crazy. Man has that clock. Oh, shut up, man. Shut up, bro. Just get the fuck out of here. G, all we do is long kicks, and the manager only cares about Jules. Yeah, it seems like it. Bro, Trudon, don't. I'm not even reading the comments, bro. I'm not even reading the comments. Frank is probably trying to make them defensively solid before getting them to be expansive. Maybe. Again, I'm the wrong person because I've not watched enough of them to really understand what he's trying to do. I thought he was going to kind of come in and, you know, I'm not even saying be stupidly expansive because he needed to make them defensively solid. Got a bit of a cold. Yeah, I thought he was going to need to make them a little bit more defensively solid than they were, but I don't know. I feel like he's gone too far the other way now, almost. And Jerry, they looked like they were devoid of ideas. Like it looked like they didn't have a clue what to do. A clue. And Javi Simmons looking like, bruv, no, what did Rom say? Rom's got it right. He said it on, was it Wonder from Snowfall? That's who Javi Simmons looked like. Go and watch. I think it's Wonder. I could be wrong with it, but it's what's my man? It's oh my days. How can I? What's the main character's name in fucking Snowfall? That's gonna bug me that I can't remember. Oh my god. Like, sorry. It's gonna bug me if I don't even remember it. Snowfall. What's my man's name, bro? Franklin. How can I forget Franklin? Idiot. That's stupid of me. Yeah. No, not Wanda. It is Aunt Louie. Is it Aunt Louie? I think it was Aunt Louie. But yeah, he looked like one of the characters from there, and I was like, yeah. Look exactly like the character. Frank's prioritizes dual winners over actually keeping the ball full of a team that accelerate in positional play. Do you have the players for it? Do you think, like, in your opinion, I'm not questioning. I am questioning, but I'm not trying to combat that. I'm asking, do you think you have the players to do exactly what you're asking for? Like I said, I don't know. I really don't know. Frank's biggest issue is he plays football like he's still at Brentford. Maybe so. Maybe he needs to start learning that he needs to adapt, that their expectations at Brentford are not the expectations at Spurs. Regardless of who Spurs are and whatever, the expectations are not the same. They're not the same. Jerry been all for everything, even the metrics from last season to this season, we massively declined. That's crazy because he finished fucking far down the league last season. Last game, Everton versus Man United. Manchester United finally losing a game. I think it's like 5 games now. But you know, it's mad to even say, oh, they finally lost the game. I needed them to lose to get back to reality. 1-0 away for Everton. Good victory. Down to 10 men. Can someone explain that whole kerfuffle anyway that even happened? Like, I didn't understand it. Like, I really didn't even get it. But yeah, there was this whole kerfuffle that kind of happened, which then got Jesse Gay sent off. I didn't understand, but he got sent off. Did he slap his own player? I don't know. Like, I don't know. It was all mad. I didn't really get that. Either way, Dewsbury Hall getting the goal. They deserved it. From the highlight, again, only saw the highlights. I literally watched it just before I come on here. They look like they deserved it. I've seen Manchester United fans obviously crashing out about it, to be fair. So they're still not happy, even though this is Amarim's longest unbeaten run. If we go to some of the stats of the weekend, yeah, I do believe it's his longest unbeaten run. Yeah, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was their 6th game. That's mad when I think about it, though. Look at all their other results. Like, this is when this is when they were really shit. Like, I mean, lose, win, like all of that kind of that. They couldn't be consistent. They finally become consistent, and then they obviously lose this game. And again, it can happen. It can happen. It can happen. Do you know what I'm saying? It is genuinely one of those kind of things, right? But listen, man, it is what it is. David Moyes, this was first Premier League win at Old Trafford as an away manager. That is crazy. Your first victory as an away manager. Mad. Some of the other stats I saw, Villa. I mean, look at that. I mean, other than the 2-0 loss to Liverpool, they've won all their other games. I mean, like I said, and the thing is, other than the Bournemouth game where they won 4-0, they're just, they're just getting, they're doing exactly what they would need to be doing, which is, you know what, we've been in really, really poor form at the beginning of the season. We just need to get the victories, and then we can kind of go, from there. First North London derby hat-trick in the Premier League, obviously provided by Eze. And as I said before about the whole Newcastle thing, this was their 19th attempt. 19th attempt. Crazy. Pedro Neto's last 5 matches. He's been in really, really good form, as I mentioned before. He's got a goal, 2 goals in the last 2 games. Didn't get nothing in the Spurs game. Got an assist against Sunderland, goal and assist against Nottingham Forest. Yeah, man, he's been in good form. He's been in really, really good form. And then obviously this back-to-back victories at Anfield for Nottingham Forest. Here's the table. Oh, no. Actually, before we get to the table, this was what I wanted to show you guys. I don't know if you can see it. Might need to make the screen a little bit bigger. But yeah, I was looking at this and it made me laugh. It definitely made me laugh. So these are all the losses. So I did the table so that you can see the losses of the season, right? Liverpool ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th for losses this season, joint with obviously Brentford, Fulham, and Nottingham Forest. Goals against this season, Liverpool rank 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Out of 20 teams, Liverpool ranked 5th for the most goals conceded. Only Leeds United, Burnley, West Ham, and Wolves have conceded more goals than Liverpool this season. That is the form table right now, guys. This is the form table. This is the form table. Let me get it back up again. This is the form table. Liverpool are in the bottom 3 for the form table. Only Leeds and Wolves have done worse. And Leeds and Liverpool are on the same. They both won 1 game in their last 5. 5, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, in their last 5. Wolves just need to get a victory and they'll match Liverpool. Just need a victory. Just. Here's the Premier League table, man. Arsenal, 6 points clear of Chelsea. City down in 3rd. Aston Villa moved up to 4th. Palace in 5th, looking at the Europa League spot. Hopefully they can stay there. If not, 1 further. Brighton moving up the table in 6th. Sunderland down to 7th. Bournemouth in 8th. Spurs in 9th. Manchester United make the top 10. Everton in 11th. Liverpool Football Club in 12th. Brentford 13th. Newcastle, Fulham, Forest, West Ham. And the bottom 3 is Leeds, Burnley, and Wolves. I'll leave you guys with this before we head on out. Big up to everybody who's joined. Like I said, redirected over to Enz's channel. Yeah, he's going to be chopping up the whole Salah news and stuff like that. 3 points in 2 months. Yeah. I'm going to leave you guys with this anyway. I'm angry at the owners because I'm like, bro, you're starting to show that, like, you don't know what it's like to have money. Like, you're starting to show you don't know what it's like to have money. You don't know what it's like to be around the big boys when they splash the cash and stuff like that. You didn't understand that there's expectations upon splashing that level of cash. You win today. You win today, bro. There's no, I'm seeing people, Liverpool lose a few games, all of a sudden, excuse me, all of a sudden, yeah, you know what? It was always going to be a transition. Transition. Oh yeah, but obviously, the rest in peace to Jota, but obviously, because obviously him passing away, and yeah, it's going to be a transition season because new transition. Oh yeah, you know what? Obviously, because he needs to fit Florian Wirtz in, we need to try and phase out the old guard, and then obviously, then the new players can come in. It's going to be a bit of a transition. Bro, shut up, man. I'm not trying to hear none of that. I'm not trying to hear none of that. Big up to all the people, but I ain't trying to hear that. There's no transition. You don't lose games, and then all of a sudden it becomes a transition. That's not how it works. That's not even how life works.